You're much better to stay upbeat, to stay positive. It's hard to do that sort of directly and just be not sad, don't be sad. Express it for a moment. But do so in a way where you mock it. Is a notion. Is a notion. I'm not saying it's a perfect notion, etc. And I will say that when I'm putting the notion of humor into these things, now you have to be careful that you're using your humor for healing and not for hiding. It's possible to mask things over with humor. It's possible to pretend that everything's all right, and you make it look like to the outside world, or even trying to convince yourself that you're doing okay, and really you're hiding from the problem, and it's getting worse underneath. It's possible, quite possible. Make that subtle but very important distinction of the other type of humor. When you're using it to enrich yourself, you're using it to remind yourself of particular truths. This point I keep coming back to, that the negative emotions will not help you. And you are silly for having even momentarily indulged in them. And you can laugh at yourself for that. If you use that in the right way, to enrich yourself, to find, again, hope and joy in these sorts of things. Do that in the right way, then Degger is a very powerful tool, I think. Very much indeed. Any random thing that comes at you. Express your own awareness of your own negativity, and then dismiss it. And in my opinion, to dismiss it with humor is an effective strategy. I suppose you could have a Degger, or at least a variant of Degger, which is not particularly centered on humor. Still have the notion of acknowledging a thing, accepting it, dismissing it. I like the notion of, when you recognize that it's a foolish idea, negative emotions are foolish things to indulge in, and therefore you're being silly, therefore you could mock yourself a little bit for it, which increases your humility, by the way. Though naturally I don't want you to mock yourself so much as to, lower your self-esteem. In fact, in the moment of mocking oneself, you might almost be raising your self-esteem, while also increasing humility. In that, you're acknowledging a flaw. Okay, it's a flaw that makes you be more humble, and, you might feel bad about yourself. But then again, you've acknowledged it, and made a joke at the same time, which I still believe is a very useful method in these things. Having made that acknowledgement, well, good, you have enough wisdom to acknowledge it. You can feel good about that. You can feel good about the fact that I almost got angry there for a second, that, okay, what do we do now? You see, I almost got angry there for a second, and then, I took the better path. It's almost like an emotional Aikido. If you know what Aikido is, it's a martial art which is all involved in not directly blocking or directly punching and stuff. It's all about dodging around things. Something comes at you, like a fist, for instance. You move, maybe you grab the person and throw them off in that direction, but you've already sidestepped. See each thing coming, and no, you refuse it. Without the direct sort of thing that would happen if, for instance, you were just sort of bottling things up. Or to apply the metaphor to martial arts, just blocking, which you can only do so many times before you get tired. It's meant to be effortless. Meant to be instinct. And surely it takes time to develop such habits, etc., etc., and whether I phrase this thing perfectly, and I'm probably not, and so forth. But in general, if you've got the concept I'm talking about, I think it's very useful. Some danger comes, and you're afraid. And this ties in very close well with Romero, by the way. And where regular fear would be, oh, and you get scared. Degger would be, oh no, I'm scared of this, and then, okay, you see that little change of tone, oh no, oh no. Well, not in the sense of ignoring the threat, naturally, but of refusing to bow down to your fear. This immediacy of response. In the very moment of expression, you say to yourself, via humor, if that's who you want to do. That's what I want to do, generally speaking. You say to yourself via something, hopefully humor, I refuse, even on that basic emotional level, to be taken in. I will not surrender my hope and my joy. That is Degger, I think. I really do love the idea. Thanks for watching. See you later.